How's it going, everyone? Hope you're all having a great day or night whenever you open this video up. Been a little while, hasn't it? Not exactly working with the best of equipment here, but videos gotta be made, so here we go. Now, this whole Colleen Ballinger controversy, I was gonna cover it at first, back when it was still just the allegations, but I felt like I needed to do that Halo Infinite review first, and that just never happened, so here we are, well past that. But I guess it turned out to be a good thing, because listening to all the allegations from people like Jakey 3, who you should all go check out right now, he was how I even discovered this controversy. But hearing their coverage, and how nonchalantly Colleen was taking the situation where she's being accused of grooming minors, yeah, I could smell a YouTuber apology coming. About like how she could smell the fertility of a teenage girl. Yes, that's an actual quote she said. And the apology has arrived, and oh boy, she decided the best course of action was to make it into a fucking song. Now, a more cynical person might say that she tried doing this song tactic so that she could copyright claim people covering the situation with this. But time will tell on that conspiracy there. Either way, we don't know what you came here for, so let's just jump right into it.
Since you saw my face.
Like I said, I never even heard of you before Jakey made his videos and made me aware of this controversy. So I can safely say I'm glad I never saw your face before this. Especially looking at the Miranda character, quote unquote, and how much her face looks like a fucking Mrs. Potato Head doll. Yeah, I'd like to get this video over with, that way I don't have to look at your face anymore.
I haven't been doing so great, so I took a little break. So a lot of people are saying some things about me that aren't quite true. Doesn't matter if it's true though. Just as long as it's entertaining to you. Right? You guys having fun?
Believe it or not, no, not really. I don't enjoy talking about people that are grooming minors, and who have empirical evidence of it. But you know what? I'm willing to hear you out, if you're going to show some actual evidence to the contrary. But you won't, will you? Of course not. You're just going to keep strumming that ukulele throughout this entire video, and trying to downplay the entire situation as nothing but just some typical toxic gossip. Which, unironically, is one of the most common things groomers will do, is try and downplay the actions.
All aboard the toxic gossip train. You're chugging down the tracks of misinformation. The toxic gossip train. You got a one-way ticket to manipulation station.
Considering one of the allegations is the fact that you would throw people under the bus as soon as you got the slightest bit of flack, yeah, I guess we are on a one-way trip to manipulation station. Especially the way you tried to gaslight Adam into thinking he was in the wrong, just for exposing all the creepy things you would do.
Toxic gossip train, tie me to the tracks and harass me for my past. These rumors look like facts. If you don't mind the gaps, I won't survive in the crash, but hey.
Cause rumors look like facts if you don't mind the gaps that I won't survive. What are you even implying here? Again, if you would show some actual evidence to cover the situation and actually defend yourself, then maybe people would take you seriously, but clearly you're not taking this seriously if it's just gonna be this stupid little song. Only now it makes even less sense.
At least you're having fun. Hi everyone. I've been wanting to come online and talk to you about a few things. Even though my team has strongly advised me to not say what I want to say, I recently realized that they never said that I couldn't sing what I want to say.
I mean, sing it or say it, either way, it's just words at the end of the day. And I highly doubt you would mean any bit of it if you did actually say it. Because the thing about these allegations is they weren't all at once, it wasn't just a one-time thing. It spans over multiple years. Only now that people are more socially conscious and they're seeing all these things pile up, yeah, you can't really hide from them anymore. And there really is no excuse for sending your underwear to an underage boy, having them stick their hand down your pants, and look for a snack. All these things that I'm just describing, it's just making my skin crawl just thinking about it. There's no excuse for any of it. And as I've said in the comments of Jakey's video, it'd be one thing if she was doing these kind of jokes, quote unquote, towards of-age college students or single parents. Then people wouldn't have as much of an issue. But that isn't the case, and it would still be kind of creepy in certain instances, like again, asking random people to shove their hand down your pants and look for a snack. Like, that's... Are you a hooker now? Yeah, there really is an excuse for someone having actions like that while their audience is mostly comprised of children. So no defense is really going to cover you, but especially this stupid song is not going to do you any favors.
So, here I am, and today I only want to talk about the facts. So, I hope that you'll be willing to listen.
It'd be easier to listen to this if you weren't so tone-deaf at singing and strumming that ukulele so inconsistently. But hey, what do I know?
Here we go. Many years ago, I used to message my fans, but not in a creepy way like a lot of you are trying to suggest. It was more of a loser kind of way, where I was just trying to be besties with everybody.
Now, I've definitely gotten personal with some of my besties over the years, but I've never asked them what their favorite position is, or for pictures of their asses. Because at that point, I'm wanting to go a little bit further than being besties. And yes, I hate you even more for making me say the word besties unironically. And the fact that you're doing that towards children is... yeah, very creepy.
It's kind of like when you go to like a family gathering, and there's a weird aunt there, keeps coming up to you and going like, "Hey girl, what's the tea?" And you're like, ugh.
Though I'd say that analogy is equally creepy, because at no point have I ever heard anything like that from any of my aunts, and my aunts are fucking psychotic, so there's that. But even then, if they were asking these kind of questions, it'd be even weirder.
That was me, but in group chats with my fans. It was weird. I've been sharing my life online for over 15 years. I've poured my heart out to you, and because of that I feel like I'm talking to my friends, but in the beginning of my career, I didn't really understand that maybe there should be some boundaries there.
You didn't think there should be some boundaries when your fans are 95% children. Are you fucking mentally insane? Of course there should be boundaries when dealing with children, especially if you're going to be messaging them. Particularly when you currently are in your 30s, and if you've been doing this for over 15 years, then you had every opportunity to learn that maybe there are certain things that they don't need to hear about, that they don't need to see. Like videos of you sticking a tampon in your mouth. Even if it's part of some Filthy Frank type of skit, that's still fucked up.
There were times in the DMs when I would overshare details of my life, which was really weird of me. I haven't done that for years, you see, because I changed my behavior and I took accountability. But that's not very interesting, is it?
It also doesn't line up with the evidence we've seen to the contrary so far, so until you show some actual proof of it, we have nothing but hearsay.
So let's go on the toxic gossip train. The locomotive's fueled with hateful accusations. The toxic gossip train.
Gotta love how her voice is giving out already. Even she knows she's full of shit and just wants the video to be over with.
Steamroll over someone's reputation. Toxic gossip train. Hop on board but close your eyes, otherwise you'll realize that the train is made of lies, and that person you despise maybe didn't deserve to die, but hey, at least you're having fun. In all seriousness, I do think it's really important to hold people accountable for their mistakes. We should hope that everyone can learn from their mistakes and grow and change their behavior and be a better person. And this is something that I've always tried to do when I make mistakes, and it's something that I will continue to try to do. What? Oh, you don't care? Oh, okay.
Actually, I do care. I just care about your actions more than these hollow words. Because if you actually did become more conscious, and you actually did make amends to the people you might have affected, then I'd be willing to give you another shot. Perfect example of this, Dishonored Wolf. Years ago, he had a little drama going on where people were accusing him of pedophilia. And at the time, I was willing to write him off completely. Didn't want to hear too much else. I was like, okay, he's a furry and he makes all kinds of fucked up jokes. I can believe it. So I washed my hands of him up until he uploaded a video defending himself. And I checked it out thinking it was just going to be some cope. But then, oh, would you look at that? He actually took well over an hour to explain his side of the events, give a whole timeline of it, give evidence most of all. And by the end of it, I was more than willing to give him a second chance, since he was actually making good on those actions, more than just his words. He took a break from the comments, he took a break from video making, and it looked like he was generally going to take some time to fix himself up. And when he came back, I embraced him. I'd be more than willing to give that same olive branch to anyone if they actually show that they want to fix themselves and want to do better. Right now, you're not exactly giving those vibes. So no, I don't exactly care about what your song says. I want you to actually make an effort, not make another shitty song.
I thought you wanted me to take accountability, but that's not the point of your mob mentality, is it? No. Your goal is to ruin the life of the person you despise while you dramatize your lies and monetize their demise.
I mean, if you get some clout and money out of doing the Good Samaritan thing of calling out bad actors, why not? But I guarantee you that was no one's intention. Instead, they saw someone actually making creepy remarks towards children, who happen to have a very large audience of children, and decided that, yeah, people should be aware of these things.
I feel like I can already hear the comments on this video. She's gaslighting, manipulating, she's a narcissist and a rat. I would never make a mistake like that.
That's where you're wrong, because just looking at the latest comments of your video, they're pretty disgusting of seeing how many people are willing to support you, in spite of all this. Again, if you were willing to show evidence and make actual points to help your case, then I could understand them, and I could brush them off. But instead, this comes off as a blind cult. Now, obviously, I imagine there are people that are calling you out in the comments. I imagine they're also being deleted or moderated. But all the same, you should expect it when you're being accused of these kind of vile things, and you have no one to blame but yourself for them.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that all of you are perfect, so please criticize me. Bring out the daggers made from your perfect past and stab me repeatedly in my bony little back. I'm sure you're disappointed in my shitty little song. I know you wanted me to say that I was 100% in the wrong. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna take that route of admitting to lies and rumors that you made up for clout.
I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record with this, but it'd be nice if you could actually disprove the evidence that's being put out against you, instead of this hearsay shit. Also, you just gotta love the copium seeping out when she's like, oh, I'm sorry I'm not as perfect as you, but you're all so perfect with your pretty little lives. Literally no one is saying they're a perfect angel like that. All they're saying is that you've royally fucked up, putting it into words just how badly you did, and how you need to go to fix it. But I also want to point out one quick thing here, is that this sentence right here is the only time the words I'm sorry ever show up in this little apology, and it's done in a mocking tone. Really goes to show how seriously she's taking this. Like, when you're gonna make these kind of mistakes repeatedly, and do it on a public platform, yeah, you deserve to be mocked for it. That's part of the learning process on your end. But I will give her one thing, she at least admitted that her song is shitty.
Hey everybody, I found someone new to harass. She did some things that I do not like in her past. So everybody gather round, cause we're about to attack. But not based on facts, oh no. Your loaded lethal weapon is your fingers on the keys. You don't need any armor when you can hide behind a screen. So shoot me down quick, hit the click and bam! My reputation's deceased.
You do realize you could salvage that reputation, or at least attempt to, if you would actually attempt to fix yourself, and actually acknowledge how much of a mess this is, and how wrong you were, because these were easily avoidable mistakes. But instead, you gotta gaslight people into thinking the peanut gallery is to blame, and how they're just out for blood for no reason other than because they're bored, and not trying to actually protect the children that you're trying to entertain.
I also wanted to take a minute to talk about that girl Miranda sings. You know the one. Yeah, her. She's PG-13. It says that on my website, and it's always been that way. And that's why you won't find my videos on the YouTube Kids app. Anyway.
That just makes it even worse that you're making these kind of weird comments towards teenagers. And that you're mailing them things like your underwear, or sending them videos of you eating a tampon. All this kind of shit that is very sexually charged. Like, children do not need to be exposed to that. That's why we give so much scrutiny to things that are PG-13 or lower. They have a little bit more responsibility than something that doesn't give a fuck.
I didn't realize it was my responsibility to decide what was appropriate for every kid to see. I've always relied on parents to decide if they're comfortable with their families watching my YouTube videos or coming to my live shows.
No one is saying you are solely to blame for what the kids see, but you aren't off the hook entirely since you're the one doing these things, and you're the one doing it in front of a camera. How people react to that is up to themselves, yes. And while parents should watch over what their kids are watching, at the same time there are certain things that you should keep in mind if you are making things specifically for children. I mean, if you're going to be put in a situation like this where there are very serious accusations being thrown your way, and you just laugh it off or pretend like it's not important, try to downplay it as much as possible, then yeah, that's going to make a lot of people decide beforehand that you're a lost cause, since these are very serious things that need to be handled like an adult.
Now, have I made some jokes in poor taste? Yes. Have I made lots of dumb mistakes? Yes. Am I sad that there's some fans who feel betrayed? Yes. Was my intention to manipulate? No. It doesn't really matter what my intention was, because it seems as though everyone's already decided on that. Let me tell you, it's not very fun to have millions of people all over the world call you the most vile, horrendous, disgusting, life-ruining words the person can be called, in my opinion. It doesn't matter that these things are true. Everyone just believes that you are the type of person who manipulates and abuses children. So I just wanted to say that the only thing I've ever groomed is my 2 Persian cats. I'm not a groomer. I'm just a loser who didn't understand I shouldn't respond to fans, and I'm not a predator, even though a lot of you think so, because 5 years ago I made a fart joke.
Once again, downplaying the severity of it, it was a bit more than a fart joke. That was where you sniffed a girl down, said that she smelled fertile, and kept making weird hand gestures around her while playing a fart sound effect. The fart joke was the tiniest portion of that, but of course, that's all it was. It's pretty slimy to break it down to just the most bare essentials like that, and act like it's a nothing burger because of that. Whip out the fake tears already. I mean, the only thing missing is a sob story of how you tried to kill yourself. Then you'd have the YouTube apology super pack.
So, even though I know this video won't change anyone's mind about me.
and that is entirely on you for not providing any evidence to actually substantiate your points, or make your points in general. Had you done either of those, you might have changed a few minds. Instead, all you've done is pander to the cultists that follow your every word, and give the people skeptical of you even more reason to not take you seriously in the future.
I still felt it was important to come on here and defend myself a little and take accountability. And I also wanted to say that to anyone out there who has ever supported me in any capacity, I really, really appreciate you. Thank you. For what it's worth, I never had any bad intentions. But I do feel like shit.
You kinda should, given this situation. All the same, it doesn't really matter what your intentions were. You still did it. And now every sensible person knows to just write you off. Since from the sound of it, you're gonna keep on being a creepy-ass motherfucker here. I'd hope you don't, and you actually change after this bullshit. But I'm not holding my breath. Anywho, after this, there's a long section where she just repeats parts of the song she's already done. That, and of course, a stretch of silence, which I don't think we really need, so skip.
Actually, you know, I feel like maybe I should let you guys know something. It seems like maybe you're confused about something.
The only thing I'm confused by is why this song is still going. Just end it already.
I don't know. Let me try to help. Sometimes people make a mistake and it doesn't make them a horrible person. Whoa. Sometimes people can make a mistake and they're still a good person. Crazy, I know. Sometimes people can make a mistake and you don't have to take that mistake, oh no. And twist it up and grind it and add some lies to it and pulverize it and stab it with knives and ruin a life and oh no. Sometimes people can make a mistake. It doesn't mean you gotta send them hate, oh no. Sometimes people can make a mistake and you can kindly let them know and help them to grow. Sometimes people make mistakes simply because they made a mistake. And that mistake doesn't make them a terrible human.
This is probably the most copy thing about this entire song. Of course people are going to send you some fraction of hate. It's the internet. Doubly so when you're being accused of these things towards children. People don't mess around with that these days. And if you can't handle that, then the internet is not for you. But obviously people can make mistakes, and they can learn from them. They can be better. It doesn't ruin them. Depending on what those mistakes might be, there are certain lines you just don't cross. But all the same, it doesn't matter if you do it in a very polite way and send this well-worded criticism of how they can improve and why they did this thing that was so wrong. At the end of the day, as long as you get the message across that, hey, you fucked up, do better, it doesn't matter. It's on you to learn after that point. When said mistake is sending sexually charged message to children, sending them your underwear and other inappropriate videos, and making all kinds of inappropriate comments over years, that's less of a one-time mistake. That is something you had active effort in doing, and you need to be held accountable for it. And at this point, I'm done listening to your excuses. People have been calling this the worst apology video, and it's not even an apology, because there are no words of, I'm sorry, I will do better. None. This is all just a gaslighting attempt in order to shut down all the criticism, and saying, hey, yeah, I made a mistake, but not clarifying how they're going to do better or if they're going to do better at all. So for that, fuck off. I hope this is the end of your career at this point, because with the way you've been acting ever since this came to the limelight, yeah, you don't deserve that career. But anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it for this video. I'm getting a little tired, so I'm going to cut it quits here. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, leave a dislike if you didn't, and until next time, I'll talk to y'all later.